Hi there, Glendale. This is the final video in setting up your iPad. Today's video will be about making sure that you back up all of your work and also organizing your apps on your homepage. We're going to begin by opening up Notability. I'm going to show you how to back up your work on this particular app. So it would like to take us through a tutorial, which you could do some other time. We're going to get started by looking for the Gear app at the bottom. Once you click on that, you'll see that this page comes up, and it's going to ask you to auto backup by clicking on auto backup. So I'm going to ask you to auto backup. What we want to do is to make sure that any work that you create in Notability, which is like a binder for you, is backed up into either Google Drive or OneDrive. So we're going to back it up to OneDrive. Now, for the first time that we're ever doing this, we need to sign into this app. So I'm going to take a moment to sign in to this app by using my HWDSB username plus at hwdsb.on.ca. Now it's going to ask for the password. So once I've entered my password, you can see that now it is no longer on Turn Backup Off, it is on OneDrive. If you prefer Google Drive, you can do the exact same thing with Google Drive. It'll ask you for your board email, so your username at hwdsb.on.ca, plus your password, and then it'll connect you to that. So now you know that anytime that you use this and you've created some work, you can then have it backed up. Just check every once in a while when you have an update to make sure that it is still backing up by just checking on the gear and checking here to see that it's connected. Next, I want you to find your OneDrive app, which the board automatically put on your iPad. If you go to the OneDrive app, it'll ask you once again to sign in because it's the first time. And it's going to ask for the password again. So remember, it's the first time doing this. It shouldn't ask you each time for every app. All right, so we are into OneDrive, and again, it just wants to take us through a little tutorial. But I wanted to show you that we've already got a folder here associated with OneDrive called Notability, and this is where it's going to back up your work. This is important too if you end up using Notability, if you, let's say, had it on another device, which we won't be using during COVID, but if you were borrowing another device from the library and you wanted to save your work to your own files, then this is a great way to know that it'll be saved not on the device, but in the app. Next, we are going to look at how to organize the home page. So I want you to find all of the Google apps that we downloaded in one of the other videos, and I want you to put them all together. So I'm going to click on Google Translate and Google Earth, Docs, Slides, Sheets, and put them together with Drive. I'm going to click on it and drag it into where Google Drive is. And I'm going to do that with each of the Google apps. So right now it is naming this Google, all the Google apps utilities, which I wouldn't remember as having my Google apps. It was not a title that I would use for Google, so I would probably call it Google. You could call it Google Suite, whatever works for you. So you can see that it's still, all of the apps are still moving, meaning that we can continue to organize the apps into a folder. And so what I'd like to do is organize all of my Microsoft apps now. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to slide them together over with OneDrive. So that they are all together. This one's naming itself Productivity. I'm just going to call it Microsoft. Okay, so now things are getting a little bit more neater and easier to find, hopefully, for your future use. So to get rid of the wiggly apps, meaning that they can still be deleted or moved, we're just going to click on the home page and it'll stop that. Okay, so hopefully these videos have been helpful. I know that you should feel free to connect with me via email or Teams if you have any questions. I wish you all the best of luck with all of your studies.